Hello everyone, I'm Faroutman Games, a young solo indie game developer, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a bit of a devlog, I suppose, of the first chapter of my RPG Maker game, visual novel. And yes, it is an RPG, and I am aware that visual novel is a genre of game in itself. So I've actually always wanted to make devlogs about my game for as long as I've been making my game, but I was pretty young when I started and didn't really have the confidence to talk about it much, I guess. So I'm sorry if you can hear a cat in the background, I can't be bothered to re-record that. Anyway, I started developing my game 5 years ago. In June it'll be 5 years. And so I'm quite far along with it now. A lot of, if I made devlogs about what I'm adding now, it would be kind of like spoilers that I don't want to give away. So I'm going to go back over the earlier chapters, so in this case we're starting with chapter 1 obviously, and do a devlog, I guess kind of a devlog of everything I've done. And obviously I am kind of changing parts of it up quite frequently, so I guess I'll walk through the history of that as well. The plot of visual novel is that you play as Duke, a 12-year-old boy who woke up in a black and white world next to a book, or I suppose a visual novel, if you will. Naturally, Duke is not from this black and white world, it's just weird. So he has to find his way back to his home, wherever he is from, and that also involves learning to trust people around him who offer him help. Now, visual novel, like most games, has an intro, and writing it was exceptionally difficult, I found, because I had to write from the perspective of a fairly rational 12-year-old waking up, seemingly in a dream that just wasn't quite a dream. Because of this, the intro has been through many different iterations. The original intro was very overdramatic, while also being somewhat watery, if that makes sense, in a way where the dialogue was kind of watered down, where no one was really speaking like real people. I had to kind of find a balance somewhere in the middle, make them sound realistic enough but not overly dramatic. Another thing is trying to make the problems seem as dire as they need to be. Like, for instance, if there's a rift between the friendship of these characters, it has to be something they struggle to come back from, something they struggle to work out even if there's an obvious solution, because they're children and their problems seem a bit more world-ending. I managed to kind of strike a balance that I think felt captivating enough, with enough mystery and intrigue to the plot, I guess. There's enough loose ends kind of that you need to see where they go, and the writing feels realistic enough and also kind of, I guess, childlike enough, age appropriate, I suppose. And now the intro's sorted out, onto the rest of the chapter. The first chapter of visual novel serves primarily to set up the story and introduce the characters. I don't want to say not much happens, but in comparison to the rest of the game, it is kind of just a walking simulator. Now, I do excuse that, as I was about 13 years old when I made this chapter, but I've been back to refine it quite a lot more, mostly the intro, and once I'm done with the rest of the game, I do plan on adding lots more content to the earlier chapters, specifically pre-chapter 3, I think, were my least favourites. But all that's not to say that nothing interesting happens in the first chapter. Obviously, setting up the plot is a pretty big thing. It's where you get to know the story and the characters, and what's really supposed to hook you, I suppose. Plus, the first chapter has its fair share of enemies, I suppose, even a secret boss, and a minigame. Which, fun fact, took me 2 days to make, and for some reason I don't remember now, I hated every second of it. This other game didn't initially look very different to visual novel itself, so back in 2023 I went back and revamped it, squishing down the tile set a bit and removing some details and making the sprites smaller. Aside from that though, the chapter really is just setting up the story and meeting characters, as I've said for the millionth time. In this chapter we meet our party members who follow us throughout most of the rest of the game, Avery and Brett, making us an unstoppable team of 3 ready to take on our adventure. If only we knew what that really was. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching my weird attempt at a first devlog. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I just tried, I guess, going through what this chapter's about and kind of stuff I've added to it, and like, I don't know. As I said in my previous video, there is currently a demo of Visual Novel available on itch.io to play for free. It ends after the first 10 minutes, but I've been told a few times it's slightly too short. I would love to release the entire first chapter as a demo, but who knows, maybe if I can get to if I could get to 100 subscribers or something, I'll release the first chapter as the demo. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video, a chapter 2 devlog with puzzles.